We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Murray now on first down.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on third down.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Slings this deep from McLaurin, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Lee Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
after the touchdown. McPherson on to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Murray.
He'll drop this one off to Eckler.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Murray. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
Now here's Ross. 35 yards that time on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
On the handoff, Taylor. And the ball is free. Taylor lost it.
And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And that one quickly went from a big play for the offense, I thought he may go the distance, to a big play for the defense.
And how about the emotions for the defense on that play? It broke big. It was going to be an absolute disaster for them, and it turns out they end up with the football. I don't know that they're exactly celebrating. Definitely plenty of relief, though.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Murray going to throw.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
It's Devin White, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now Wilson down around his goal line.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Play action. It's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bucks will get ready to go on offense. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Cameron Hayward in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Murray. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a 2nd one.
On 1st down, Taylor. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack there by Roquan Smith. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. They go back to the air here after the INT. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle.
And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he'll just get rid of it.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
There's Wilson to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And how about this? It's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. And pretty darn well executed there. Just a nonchalant flip over the shoulder. But that's not easy. You have to time that right, and they did.
They certainly did, and it wasn't just the flip, right? They timed that up. But then the pass downfield to pick up the...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Jonathan Taylor, his 9th touchdown of the season. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. McPherson on for the point after.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
From the 24, Murray. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd and 11.
Here we go. Big A's open. Big A's open. Watch the screen.
Now Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. To throw, it's Murray.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Now Murray's got to have this one, eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bucks try it on 4th down, but come up empty.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it.
And some room to maneuver. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
56 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Wilson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Murray now to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
The Bucks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they work this out past the 25. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. That one taken in by T. Higgins.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Murray now on 1st down. Open man, the tight end Henry. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. That's complete to DK Metcalf. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. It's Murray. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Murray to air it out again. Out quickly to Judy. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Here's Murray. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. The Bucks going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Murray now. Steps away to his left. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. So it's Washington getting the victory here, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Washington, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bucks, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.